Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way Nation. What is going on? It is your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 131. This is the final week of the Home Buyers Workshop, and this week we are bringing you the 2022 Wow Home Buyer Blueprint. So just be ready for this week. It's going to be crazy as we bring back each guest from the previous 3 weeks of the Financial Power Hour, all to come and give you a panel style discussion this Wednesday. But before we get into all that, got to practice the attitude of gratitude and say thank you to each and every one of you who are here with me as I stream live across the Facebook Wealth Our Way page and the YouTube Wealth Our Way network pages. Also, I want to give that special Wild Nation salute to all the members of Wealth Our Way Nation who watched the pre-record of this program overnight, over the weekend, wherever you can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in, and then a heartfelt how are you to the good folks on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. It was a great weekend. My youngest daughter, my baby girl, my princess, turned 18 on Sunday. She commandeered daddy's house because we had a nightmare experience with Airbnb, which is something I will not get into, but it was crazy. But she turned 18, so happy birthday, Sydney. Also, the young prince had a all-star basketball game that he was involved in Saturday and really showed out. Proud of his growth and development. And other than that, it was a long weekend. I didn't even realize, I guess I work too much and don't leave the home office enough. I didn't even realize it was a long weekend until it came upon us that it was one. So everything kind of got shut down over the weekend. However, I'm always working. So I was prepping for this week, making sure the guests were lined up, trying to get just a real culmination, a high climax point for the Home Buyers Workshop. And I think we have done just that. So tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to have Mike Headley from the Headley Real Estate Group, who is a seller's agent. We're going to have Deanna Reeves, who is a all-around agent, buyers, sellers, informative investor, a millennial making sense. She's just a monster in this financial services / real estate information field. And then my good friend Liz Paris from Movement Mortgage. The three of them are going to be here tomorrow night to answer any questions that you have. You can pay for a webinar or a seminar. I've seen them my entire life, Carlton Sheets and these other different webinars, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy, for free for an hour. You're going to be able to pick the brain of people who know far more about real estate than I do, far more about real estate than you do. So before you go out and pay anybody else, before you go out and buy something and overpay prices or commissions, please come to the Power Hour tomorrow night and get this information for free. So as we have talked about before, I'm going to start every week off on Tuesday, kind of doing a market recap. And I will say, I'm super excited about the volatility that is in the cryptocurrency market. I talked to two of my clients this morning. They're not so excited about it, but as a long-term investor and as someone who believes that cryptocurrency is here to stay, I am loving the opportunities to buy at lower levels because, like everybody else, you get that element of, did I start too late? Why didn't I buy Bitcoin when it was trading at Dogecoin prices? Because I didn't trust Bitcoin back then. And now that I've learned so much more about cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, Bitcoin in particular, and the other cryptocurrencies that I buy, I have a whole lot more comfort as I grow my portfolio, as I dollar cost average in every week. So I have a set purchase every Wednesday I've shared with you guys that I make 40% into my top holding, 20% into my second and third holdings, 10% into my fourth and fifth holdings. But when I see opportunities like another dip, I add some more money on top of the dollar cost average. So today I got in and put a little bit more money in because we're experiencing a little bit of a downturn. And when I was talking to my one client, it's ironic. You got to love being in financial services and love dealing with people. The reality is that I had one client in particular who we were getting her account together, and she had money, a lot of money sitting in a bank account. And I told her we were going to invest it, but we needed to finish out understanding what her risk tolerance was and all the other different things. That because she's a busy entrepreneur, she was slow getting information back to me. She went to meet with a bank. The bank is, of course, trying to sell her why she should put her money in CDs or whatever at the bank. And she calls me up on the ride home, irate. Why isn't my money making any money? I'm going to put it in these CDs, blah, blah, blah. I said, nope, we're ready. You sent this last thing to me. We're going to start your investments on Monday. I said, but here's the deal. I do not want to hear from you when invariably the first dip down happens in your investments, because remember, you were the one screaming at me about getting out of the money market account and into the stock market and cryptocurrency markets. Well, now she's down about 4%, screaming her head off. I don't know why I did this, da 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 da. So it's just funny because I document everything. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what way you look at it, people get amnesia about what they said they wanted to do. If it doesn't work out, Lord knows the fingers get pointed and everybody's accusing you of everything under the sun. So I'm a huge documenter of everything. If you've sent me an email or a text message or anything, I still have it. So I was able to really, to the day and time, let her know what she had said to me before. And we had a good laugh over it. So it's just, I don't know why people insist on calling me at 12:30 when they know I do this program. Like, it's ridiculous. My phone is over here blowing up right now from people who know I'm on the air. So anyway, the reality is that you have to keep people honest to what they've said. And then also you have to make sure people understand what investing is. That is my biggest hurdle for my clients and for you guys as an audience, which is to teach you what investing means. Because for the vast majority of us, we have no idea what investing means. We are, even the older ones of us, we're a microwave generation. We expect things to happen like this. We want to see progress right away. Investments do not work that way. Investments, that big 1-2 punch is time and money, time and money. And if you're not prepared, if you're not setting a plan in action that has a future date, that's well into the future. Market cycles are 7 to 12 years long. If you're not looking toward the future and down with some patience, you're never going to be a successful investor. At best, you'll be a trader. And traders, as you've heard me say on this program before, not the most stable career path to go into, because first of all, you're guessing as a trader. I don't care what type of tools you have, what type of market insights you have. Let me explain to you, if you haven't heard me say it before, and I will stand up with any financial professional in the country and have this debate. There is one thing that drives the prices of investments, that drives the prices of stocks, drives the prices of bonds, drives the prices of commodities, drives the prices of cryptocurrencies, drives the prices of fiat currencies. There's one thing that does that. That is supply and demand. That interaction between buyers and sellers. If more buyers want to buy, prices go up. If more sellers want to sell than buyers, prices go down. So at the end of the day, the only thing that determines whether the markets go up or down are individual people. You tell me and show me a formula that predicts what an individual is going to think tomorrow, and we good. I will keep you on my shoulder and protect you from harm and walk you through the earth, because you are now my best friend and I am yours, and we're going to go have a lot of fun together. But no one can predict that. By the time we have reached and heard information, it's traded upon already. It's factored into the market. We are dealing with human emotions. The markets in general are human emotion-driven vehicles, which is why we have such huge swings left and right. When people believe everything is great, they run up prices more than they should. When people think it's doom and gloom, they push down prices more than they should. The actual fundamentals of what is going on with the underlying investment means very little in the short term. Long-term, successful companies, successful commodities, successful cryptocurrencies will rise to the top. But in the short term, your guess is not as even good as mine, and my guess isn't that good because we can't tell what human behavior is going to dictate for us to do in any given moment. So if you are subscribing to a newsletter that tells you they can pick the winning stocks or cryptocurrencies, if you're looking at YouTube's or blogs, podcasts, I'm here to tell you they may be entertaining, and I'm not saying don't listen to them, but please educate yourself as to what really drives prices up and down. And nobody has the secret formula for that. They are just trying to keep you entertained, to keep you paying. I am trying to keep you educated so you don't make mistakes. With that being said, let's talk about what the stock market did over the last week. The S&P 500 is down 2.6% last week. For the last 30 days, it's down 2.18%. And year to date, it's down 10.06%. So a lot of people are shook daddy right now because the market is down over 10% year to date. Stick it out, dollar cost average, buy dips. Over time, you'll be fine. I told you a year ago, we're going to see a 30 to 40% correction. This is just the beginning of it. Stay your course. Cryptocurrency doing even worse in the short term. So there's a fund or an exchange traded fund, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That is the closest thing we really have to some type of index for the cryptocurrency market, but it's really not even it's not as accurate as the S&P ETFs or mutual funds because it relies on so many different elements. You can't really call it a true indicator, but it's the closest thing we have. The Bitcoin Trust is from February 19th of 2021 to today. So basically a year, it was trading at $58.70 a year ago. Today it's trading at $25.97. It is down over 50%. It will need 100% return to get to even off of its high. That sounds like a great investment opportunity to me. I believe it will come back to at least the point it was at its highest before. I believe it'll make new highs one day. So if I see something that's 100% off of its high, I'm dollar cost averaging into that. And I'm letting the volatility be my friend. I'm letting the dips present buying opportunities for me. And I'm not putting in more money than I can afford to not have to watch. For me, it might be $500 every week. For you, it may be $5,000 every week. For someone else, it may be 50 cents every week. But we're putting away enough money so that when something goes bad and a decision needs to be made and I need money, I don't need to run to my investments to crack them open. That is the key to building a successful portfolio. That's why everything we do at Wealth Our Way starts with a budget. We budget to make sure we can afford our investments. Then we create an asset allocation that tells us where our money should be allocated, given the level of risk that we are comfortable with. And then we dollar cost average into that thing. We jump in. I always think about the game of double dutch that I could never do when I was younger because my feet were too big and I was too clumsy. Double dutch, you end up on your head on the sidewalk if you're not careful. Investing is a lot the same. You got to know how to jump in the ropes and then keep your feet chopping and keep it steady. You are going to win in the long term with that type of successful plan ahead of you. If you want to be haphazard, close your eyes and throw darts at a dartboard, good luck. Make sure you can stomach the volatility. Remember that investments do well. Investors don't, because investors tend to be more emotionally driven than fundamentally driven. They don't have a plan. But if you're coming to Wealth Our Ways, 15 minutes of finance and the Financial Power Hour, you do have a plan. So that's the market update. Inflation's still out of control. Everything is costing us more money. We'll talk about that with the housing market as well. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern, to meet with Diana, Mike, and Liz on the Financial Power Hours, episode 8, the 2022 Wow Homebuyer Blueprint. Love you all. I hope you had a great weekend and hope you're ready for this big week coming up. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.